Hello, hello. Welcome back to the C Plus Live. Thank you for coming to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm going to be talking about all things life, fashion, food, fun, travel, hair, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Or not talking about, I'm going to be taking down my twist while I also do a quick get to know me. And I say quick because I need to do this before my next meeting. So we're in between meetings, making things happen. But let's get started. So this hair, my twist, I usually redo my twists like every 4 to 5 weeks. And no matter how ratchet my twists are looking or old, when I take them down, oh, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be cute. Like what I could, when I have them a twist, I just like let it do its thing. I'm not one of those like my edges need to be laid or anything like that. To each his own. I just let my hair do whatever it wants to do, which is why I am essentially going to let my hair lock up. I just kind of been toying around with the sizing, but I've always done mini twists. That's always been my go-to as I've grown my hair out. Over the years, I used to have a fade, which is still my favorite hairstyle, but I've always done mini twists. So they really it grows your hair out very fast. So it's kind of, whatever you like to do, but this is what I do. And my hair has grown a lot. If I'm gonna put a picture in here of last year and then this year, and so you guys can see the difference. Go ahead, got a nice cut, a real cut, and I kind of was like, but then it grew back. So, anywho, moving on. As I start to take this down, having nails definitely helps. Size, like I said, depends on how quick it's going to come down, but I don't have like a certain method or anything like that. I like, where I'm just gentle or whatnot with my hair. So I just grab it and start taking it down. I already put some oil on there, so this argan oil, I put that on there, and then I sprayed a little bit of leave-in conditioner. I don't have much as far as hair products. I didn't bring a lot of hair products because I don't really, like I said, manipulate my hair a lot, but I will be needing some detangling shampoo and conditioner, excuse me, soon. But anywho, moving on. So Cita, me. Cita is me. Felicita is my government name. And Felicita and Kim to be exact. And I'm Nigerian and Antiguan, born in the U.S. My mother came to the U.S. not knowing a soul. She met my father, who was there at the time at the university, local university. And here comes me, and I have a twin brother named Philip, so it's Philip and Felicita, but obviously we just go by Phil and Cita. Yeah, Phil and Cita. And I have 2 other siblings, which are Tasha and Mikey, my younger siblings. And I'm wondering if this is going to take me longer to do because I'm actually looking, because usually I just sit here and do it. It's like no real rhyme or reason, and I just take it down, as quickly as possible. But yeah, anywho, I have 2 other siblings, Mikey and Tasha. And then, of course, if you are raised or were raised like I was, which a lot of you probably were, from a African-American household, then your siblings, excuse me, your cousins are your siblings as well. I mean, there's not much difference besides sometimes you went back to a different house. So I have Scylla and Steve, or Steve and Scylla, because Steve is older, so I'll say it in that order. For my Auntie DJ, and then I have Selena, Alex, Becky, and Rita as well, and then my Auntie Tavia. But yeah, that's kind of how I grew up. That's my core, is who I grew up with as my, like I said, siblings / cousins. you know, the people that you can't come back home from school without, or else you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, that's them. Anywho, grew up on the northwest side of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Went to the same school, kindergarten through 12th grade. You know, so I always say one of the cool things about being a twin is that, which I think I just said that, is you know, you don't have to start anything by yourself. So I had to start kindergarten by myself. But me and Phil were never in the same class. We were always in different classes, but Phil was kind of more of a class clown. And I was like super serious. I was like a super serious kid. Like I was not playing no games. I always wanted to make sure that, you know, my mom was happy. She was not mad at me. And I think it's just the Capricorn in me that perfectionism, you know, like from an early age. I know some people don't believe in, like, you know, zodiacs or anything like that, or signs, but if you look up Capricorn, that is me. Like I said, especially as a kid, I wanted to make sure I was doing what was right. I wanted to make sure I had good grades. I was always looking, you know, trying to achieve and be the smartest, the bestest, whatever, you know. So that was me, and I got through school, graduated, I'd say, you know, top of the class, not the top, but in the top, and went on to school, to college at University of Central Oklahoma. Why can't I say it? Anyways, it's also known as Central State to some, depending on when you went. But I went to Central State, and got a bachelor's in corporate communications. Had a great time at Central State, let's just say that. While I was in college, I also joined the Army National Guard, which is another story time. I was only like, the Army was never part of my plans, but my best friend at the time was wanted to join, or thought about joining, because they, you know, were talking about free tuition and this and that, you know, bonuses. And so I was going to go as a buddy to her, because I thought, yeah, I can do that. You know, Capricorn, I can do that. But at that time, she ended up not going, and I went by myself. So again, story time for another day. But I also had fun in the Army. They tried to send me to Iraq, and that I'll talk about that in a different video. But anywho, graduated from, did I pause? Did I not mention that I pledged the best sorority in the world? Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. And I have the most amazing LSs. Not that I am biased, but I am a little biased, but my LSs are everything. Like, those are my people. Those are my folks. Lifelong. No questions asked. Anywho, graduated from University of Central Oklahoma. And then I enrolled at the University of Oklahoma to get my master's. So I graduated with my bachelor's in corporate communications, and then got a master's in HR. When I was nearing the end of my master's degree, I moved to Dallas, Texas, because my plan always was to move. In my mind, I was, even before I really started traveling the world, I was already traveling the world in my mind. Like, that was always the plan. Like, I'm out of here. So out of here actually went out straight to Texas, which was common, you know, like a lot of my friends that already moved down there. If you're from Oklahoma, you go to Texas a lot, you know, neighboring state, so it's only 3 hours south, so that was kind of normal. And I ended up getting a job, and that's how I ended up moving down here. I want that job first. And like I said, I'll talk in other videos about some of the interesting experiences. Don't mind me pulling my hair. I'm not gentle by any means. Luckily, I'm not tender-headed, so I don't want to put too much oil on it right now. Anywho, so now here we are in Texas. This is 2006 when I got to Texas and started working, started living my life. Was working in HR, did that at several different companies, while also having a second job. I've always had, like, for the most part, I always had me a side hustle or a second job. It don't matter what I was doing on the first job. Like, I had a first regular old corporate job. Then well, this is like I first moved here. Then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and get me a part-time job during the holidays at the mall. Mind you, I had never worked, you know, at the mall or anything like that. But you know, I'm always, like I said, just making sure. So I had a second job there. Then I remember I had a second job working like at a call center. Was still kicking it though. My brother, my twin, he moved down to Texas. I don't know, maybe, I feel like it wasn't too long after me. He basically followed me. That's what it was. He basically followed me to Texas. So he moved down. My sister, you know, of course, with my sister-in-law and the kids. So my twin has, which, like I said, their kids are like my kids, basically. I don't physically have children, or did not physically have kids. However, my siblings' kids are my kids. And then my twins' kids kind of look like me. So technically they my kids, right? So, you know, I just been out here on my Rich Auntie vibes, but neither here nor there. But the sibling Phil moved down, so he's always stayed. We've always stayed pretty close to each other. I mean, around the corner from each other until recently, but that's another story. Just like I said, worked at multiple companies. Now I can't feel which ones I have taken down. And best believe if this call comes up and it's not done, it's just not done. Like, we're not putting too much emphasis on it. This is not being taken down, but we will need to hurry up and speed it up because I do plan on going somewhere later on. Anywho, worked at multiple companies. My first company that I worked at when I was in Texas is when I first went to international as far as travel. So I went to Sweden, and then I also, while I was in Sweden, I took a flight, which this was 2009 at the time, 2009, which is crazy because I remember when I went there, I didn't have a mobile phone that worked internationally. So I remember going to, first of all, figuring out how to get around and how to get to Norway was crazy. Because another caveat, I have family in Norway. My aunts, my mom's sisters were raised in Norway. They're Norwegian. My grandfather lived in Norway for like 8 years. So I have family everywhere. Mostly not in the U.S., to be honest. But again, story for another day. That's why I was trying to get over to Norway. So that was my first time. I got my passport expedited and got out the country. And I was making these moves solo dolo. Just figuring it out. And I think from that point on, it kind of was just like, yeah, this is it. And I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. I was just, I feel like you just figure it out. When you're put in situations, and maybe that's also a little military too. When you put in situations that are unfamiliar, like, you just got to figure it out. Like, there's no other real way to you know, do it. It's just to figure it out. I think I heard something recently. I was like, yep, that's it. Somebody said you do it scared or you do it prepared. Either way it goes, you got to do it. Scared or prepared. So I was out there in them streets without no mobile phone and not knowing the language, but I'm going to figure something out. And I've never been one of those people that's like scared to be in other areas, because a lot of times when you think about it, sometimes the areas you grow up in sometimes are scarier than other areas. Other areas, and people say it like now, like, shoot, the U.S. is dangerous, right? So traveling internationally isn't necessarily like that fear of like danger, but I think you have to be aware and have to be alert. Like, you can't be no dummy out here. And not saying that if you're being aware and alert, then nothing's going to happen, but it's just, that's what you have to do. Anywho, so that was my first international trip, and from that point on, it just kept going, and I worked for different companies. And most of the companies I've worked for have been international. I worked for another company that allowed me to go to Singapore, because that's where the headquarters was at. And my sister came with me on that trip, and from there we went to Thailand, and then we kind of just been on it. we have been on it. We went to Thailand. My sister is like my travel partner. That's me and her, we move it, and we do travel different. Like, she is a hit the ground running, like when we got off the plane, and she's go, and she walks fast. And my sister's tall, she's athletic, she's like, getting it in. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm short, I'm 5'2", and I used to be athletic. I still have I still look like I could do a little something, but not on her level, right? But I get to them too. And I like to relax and chill on vacation sometimes. I like busy days, but then I also like chill days, like where I'm doing nothing. But we make it work. And she's a pretty decent planner. She's just not a good hotel picker. So she's had us at different hostels, which that was, like I said early on, the hostels. But I have to say there's some interesting ones. I stayed at one that was like a spaceship when I was in Singapore, and then in Thailand, my cousin Scylla came and met us, because she's a true international traveler in our family. Like, she took off way before I did, and she took off and stayed gone, and she never came back. But she met us over there. So yeah, we was just getting it. Like, it's been a nice nice ride. And then, like I said, from there we've been multiple places. We came back and we were in Bangkok, so then we decided we want to go to Phuket, and we went there. PP Islands, Malaysia, then Bali, which was great. Bali is great, reasonable. Everything's reasonable. That's where my sister actually got married. So my sister got married there, and that was amazing. Gosh, I need to leave and look at the list, because I feel like right now, as of today, I've been to like 25 countries. With most recently having went to New Zealand, because that's where Scylla's at now. And then prior to that, I was in Lisbon last year for 6 months, and that's through my current company working. And now I'm in London, and I'll be here for the year at least. And we'll just see from there. Like, if I love it, then maybe I'll stay. Like, it's always with that option or the caveat. Now, I will say the story of getting to London it goes back to Lisbon. So last year I had this dream, and I had a dream, and like, it was a couple of things that happened in a series of a week. And I was on a work meeting, and first of all, the dream. Some people know this, but a lot of people don't. I had a dream that I married a white man. And so it was just a weird dream. And that was like one day. And then the next day, I saw an article about Black women expats in Portugal and Lisbon. Just was reading on, online or whatever. And then like 2 days later, my manager was talking about how we needed to backfill a position in Lisbon, and just sometimes in certain positions it's a little harder to backfill quicker. because other countries require like, you know, longer notice periods and things like that. So, and she just jokingly said, unless one of you guys want to go and, to Lisbon. And I'm like, I'll go. It was just kind of like, no, shoot, I'll go. And that was kind of that. Didn't really think too much of it. And then the next time we had our one-to-one, she asked me, she was like, would you really go? Like, would you really go? And I'm like, absolutely. I've always wanted to live out the country. You know, of course, I told her about my series of events that seem to be pointing to Lisbon with the dream and the article. And we made it happen. After that, we were, you know, building out our call center in Lisbon, had some new people on the people team, and next thing I know, I was packing up, which there's a lot, like I said, there's so many like in little minor details, which I don't know if it's gonna make sense when I actually listen to this back, but here we are. I end up in, Lisbon. All my stuff's in storage. I'm in Lisbon and wasn't sure what to expect. It's not a place, like I said, that I ever had on my radar, like, oh, I can't wait to go to Lisbon. I want to go to Lisbon. But I will tell y'all this, and we'll talk about it in another video, but I loved Lisbon. I loved Lisbon. Hear me out. I loved Lisbon. It was, first of all, I had a lot of, my sister came over, my sister-in-law, they came over for a couple of months because my sister is she was teaching still at the time. I had my best friends, they all came over at different times. So I had guests and it was just a great experience. I dropped down right when it was getting warm. It was beautiful weather, beautiful scenery, diverse. That's why I was like, I think I was more surprised about that because I just didn't know what to expect. Diverse. Portuguese food is, is healthier. It's different portions, but there's also so many other styles of food, so you're good. Portugal, just being there and then starting there and then of course traveling all throughout Europe while I was there. I had not had McDonald's in, I don't know, 15 years. I can't even tell you how long it's been since I had McDonald's until I was in Lisbon. And I had McDonald's one day via my sister. And when I say it was good, it was good. Then I had McDonald's when I was in Italy, it was good. like it was good. But with all of that, I still lost 15 pounds because obviously that should let us know that what's in the food in the U.S. is not in the food in the U.K. In Europe. Like, not the same. And then Lisbon is very hilly, not like, oh, small hill, walking up the hill. I'm talking about you like hiking on a daily basis. So heels, like shoes, stuff like that, no. Put on your trainers, as they say in Europe, and get gone. And my trainers are your Tevas, because that's how you make moves in these streets. Because them heels are not playing with anybody. But I will say them heels got my butt into a little bit more shape. And I lost 15 pounds by the time I got back 6 months later to the U.S. But the beaches, the everything. I just love Lisbon. Like, I made great friends that I am going back to see. And yeah, so when I fast forward, great experience in Lisbon, traveled to so many countries while I was there. I do work remote for my company. We do go to the office just as a team. Like right now, we go to the office at least once a week, but now that I'm in London, I'll go a couple more days because I want to be out. But yeah, it was just a great experience. That's how, like I said, I kind of fast forwarded to 25 countries. But yeah, came back. Then I went to New Zealand for a little time, and then I came back, and I was like, oh, I really want to go back to Lisbon. Like, I think I want to move there to Lisbon. And just fast forward to current day, everybody's pretty aware of the economy, and you know, what's going on with a lot of jobs, a lot of industries, especially tech, which I work in the tech industry. Um, so with that being said, and being pretty cognizant of, you know, how things trend, I kind of was thinking like, well, shoot, I ain't going back to Lisbon anytime soon. So let me figure out what I want to do next. I was like, well, do I just want to get like a little studio apartment? I mean, if so, where do I want to move? It was a lot of things kind of, you know, up in the air, and I was just like, I just got to pray about it. You know, I've been through enough in my life. Like I said, we're not talking diary on this YouTube channel. We'll get there one day, but I know that I'm always where I'm supposed to be. Like, and God, whoever you believe in is fine, but God ain't never gonna let me falter or let me fail. And I have to put in effort as well, but I know that I'm always gonna be okay, no matter what. So I always try to live with that philosophy and try to pay attention to you know, the sign. I say the signs, and when I say that, I just mean like pay attention to what's happening around me and take that for what it is. Like if things are very difficult, that might not be the doors I need to walk into. You know, if things are, you know, or things aren't coming to me, there's nothing I need to force. So that's kind of how I choose to move. And I was like, well, you know, just take into account, I've been in HR for quite some time. I know how, you know, how it goes. We're seeing mass layoffs at all these other companies. Not that it was at my company, but I'm just, you know, like, let me make sure that I am, you know, being smart with my finances and you know, making those decisions based on sustaining through these economic hard times. Well, with that being said, one day, I get a chat message from the head of EMEA, which is the European region, European Middle East region, and you know, we all have a global team. So I was like, cool, you know. When I went over to Lisbon, I was under her, and so now here, you know, when she reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in this opportunity to come to London and backfill one of your colleagues who is going on maternity leave? And I'm just like, absolutely. Absolutely, I will. And that process got started, and here I am in London. So that was kind of a fast forward, slow down of, you know, a quick get ready to get to know me. And we haven't got too far on my hair because like I said, I'm just kind of doing a couple things at one time. But we'll wrap it up there. So this will just be part 1. And then if you guys have any questions or want to know more about anything specific that I said right now, just let me know and we can do a story time. It sounds so funny to me, a story time about that. But, you know, I always in my mind think like, you know, I'm just a regular person. Just a regular person, so maybe like my story is just a regular story, but we all really and truly have unique lives, and sometimes some of the things that we don't talk about may mirror somebody else's life, and you're like, oh, that's me, you know. But anywho, we're gonna wrap this up. This is my longest video today. Hopefully you made it all the way through. If not, pause it and come back or whatnot. But like, comment, subscribe, share, talk to me in the comments. Let me know, give me any tips, you know, anything you think I should be doing, could be doing, or that I should talk about further. So it's been real. Until the next time. Is the end result. Look at her. So no matter how raggedy, I told y'all that earlier, no matter how raggedy my twists look, when I take them down, we're going to flourish. So, And that's kind of what always, anytime I get to this stage, I'll be like, dang, because I know I told you guys I'm going to eventually lock up my hair. And, because I, you know, like I said, I like how my mini twist looks. I like the lock look. Everybody in my family, my twin, my mom, my sister, everybody got locks. So it's not like, you know, like I love it. And I personally know I would look cute with locks. I mean, yeah. But when I take my twist out and I'm able to see, you know, a little something, something, see how I'll be like, dang, I like this stage too. So that's all. That's it. So yeah, this is where we're at. And I'm pretty sure I have some that are not taken down. I always find them, you know, randomly. But what's gonna happen is look, y'all see that? Not taken down. But they usually display it in so well you can't tell. But anyways, I'm gonna let it grow because my hair is gonna grow. It's gonna change textures, I say, you know, somewhat over the next couple of days, and then I'll be washing it on Sunday, hopefully. That is the goal. I have to see if there's a hair store that carries Design Essentials, because that detangler is necessary. I didn't bring anything with me, but if not, then I'm gonna have to do me a Amazon UK order, which I need to do that anyways since I'm moving to the new place, and I can actually like go buy like candles and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. Even though I'm right now committed to 3 months there, I need like a fresh smelling, nice and clean location. And I'll tell you, I haven't seen the actual inside, so I'm just hoping everything is good. But no, everything will be good. Anywho, thank you for tuning in for my little mini update. And I am about to get out in the streets. You know, work is over and it's time to go to dinner. And I don't know what I'm gonna put on, but she's out and about. We're gonna see how she does in this London weather. I mean, it can't be any worse than Texas. Bye.